Hey there. This is week 18 of Lynn's weight loss journey. That's my weight loss journey. I am going to assume you know what this is all about. And so we're going to just dive right in. And if these episodes speak to you or have spoken to you in the past, share them with a friend. That's the best way to really spread the word to help folks know that there's people out there who are doing this thing, calling it a weight loss thing, even though it's not really a weight loss thing. It's more about truly, truly loving our lives more, gaining strength, gaining speed, gaining energy. But it also results in the scale going down. And we know we don't want to make things too complicated. And so we just call it a weight loss journey. Yeah. Send it along, especially if something today really speaks to you. Send it along to someone and say, hey, check this out. Let's chat. So, alrighty, week 18, 18 weeks into this. This is a ways. Last week, I was so close to losing 25 pounds, making it to the 25-pound mark. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to gosh darn it, talk about alcohol again. That one just keeps coming up as a topic. We're going to talk about the days when we overeat, the days when we do those stress eating or emotional family gathering eatings and things. And what do you do with that? Because a lot of times the traditional temptation sometimes, especially when you start learning more and more about the body and how it conserves energy and, you don't, if you just blah, blah, all those things. Yeah. Yeah. You know, if you're like, no, I don't know. Don't worry. Stick with me. You will. We're going to talk about what do you do after those days that you overeat. Yep. Also this week I had an unintentional positive big shift in my food. So I'd kind of been eating a lot of the same old salads, same old, basil chicken apple pasta dish that I love. A lot of same old stuff. I had a kind of a big shift, and I'll tell you about the pretty great result that came of it. And again, it was just 1 week's worth of data, but I was pretty happy with it. And we're going to look at, I did very specifically something today I haven't done in a while. It's called the Pomodoro method. And if you've been around the merry-go-round with me, you're like, oh yeah, Pomodoro, that sounds familiar. We're going to talk about that, how I used it to really amp up my energy and productivity without adding stress and striving anxiety. And that was pretty cool. So, all right. So here we go. Last week, I was so close to losing 25 pounds, but I just barely missed it. And I can absolutely point the finger at some emotional eating when I dropped my son off at college. It's hard to believe that was a week ago. Jeez, seems like a month ago. I also had my heel that's been a problem child, and I've been babying it big time. I'm 3 weeks into that heel getting better, and I can walk on it. I can walk on it pretty well now, and it is getting better. I think that heel pain I was having, if I did not be all over taking care of that pain, I think right now it would be a very different story I'd be telling you. I think I'd be telling you, oh, I had this heel pain, but I still wanted to teach all my classes and do it with them. And I still wanted to do all this hiking. So I still did all that because I'm living the life I love, right? And now my heel hurts even worse than ever. Like that could have been my story. And 20 years ago, that could have been my story. Probably would have. 30 years ago, that most definitely would have been my story. I's a lot smarter now, kids. I knew. Doctor's orders, my own doctor's orders. I actually never went to the doctor for this thing. Didn't have to. I did ask my physical therapist about it. I'm in for a neck thing that they're thinking might be attributed to the shoulder too. And my PT thought, just rest, do what I was doing, rest, keep it supported, don't go around bare feet for a while. And it's getting a lot better. So, okay. So let's talk about alcohol again. That's right. That's right. Because I know for some of you, if you don't drink at all, keep it. Keep it up. Keep doing it. There is no reason to ever add alcohol in. I live in Seattle. I've done decades of corporate in Seattle. I have a huge amount of people in my life where drinking is the culture, and it just is a theme that keeps coming up over and over and over again. And so this last week, I was like, you know what? The times I've drunk wine, I get a freaking headache. So this time, I'm going to drink, but I'm going to have just light beer, and not just any old light beer, but the light beer of light beer. There's this thing called Corona Premier, which is lighter than Corona Light. I'm like, I'm going to have 2 light beers and that'll be great. And I thought, okay, this is great. It's part of my plan. It's part of living a balanced life. It's part of, what I want to do. Do I know that alcohol is poison? Yes. Do I know that technically my body would be healthier if I never touched anything that wasn't a high nutritional dense yes. But I also want to live, and I'm not, my goal isn't to be like we've talked about this before. You're with me. 2 beers. I freaking felt horrible in the morning. Again, I felt horrible. I felt like I had a big hangover. And you know what? Let me tell you, it wasn't 2 beers. It was 3 beers. And it was the lighter of the lighter ones. So if you took those 3 beers and you put the alcohol content together, it was actually less alcohol than like 2 cans of a microbrew, right? I mean, so this is where we get our panties all wrinkled up when we talk about alcohol, because there's so many ways to slice and dice it and all of that. It doesn't matter. I was frustrated that I woke up in the middle of the night with just not feeling good. I woke up feeling headachy. In the morning, I took my migraine medication, and I knew damn well I was taking that migraine medication because I'd had those beers and because I was feeling dehydrated. And I knew that if I didn't have those beers and instead I drank water all night, I would have woken up feeling fine. Yeah. I hate saying these things out loud. I don't even want that to be true. Like, I seriously, I don't even want this to be true. I don't want to come in front of the microphone and be like, wow, look at me, you guys. Woohoo. So I'm still thinking about this one. It's like, what's the big deal, right? Could I make a decision, I'm just done drinking alcohol for a lifetime? Or could I make a decision and say, if I ever do, it will always only be 1 glass or 1 serving. And then my brain's like, well, if I do that, like, what's the point? Why would I even be like, why do I even care? So do I want to come to a point where I say, you know what? I'm just someone who, I just got a text from my son. I don't know if that came through. Yeah, I just don't know. So I'm mulling over that one. I am like 2 shakes away from saying, you know what? I'm done drinking for the rest of my life. But at the same time, I better go check and see what that's about. I'll be right back. But yeah, so I'm thinking about that. You think about that too for yourself. And if you're listening to this and we're in contact, or if you want to email me or message me, let me know what you think about this whole alcohol thing, because I don't think it's fair to make it this black and white, all or nothing for the rest of your life. And I know it's different from everybody, and I'm just working on figuring out what it is for me. So there's that topic. I'm going to check these text messages from my boy. I'll be right back. All right, I am back. All right, all good. I was like, I thought my phone was on silent, but of course, right? Good parent thing. It doesn't matter if your phone is on silent when your child texts you, it'll still do its thing. So all good, all good. This is really cool. There's a book he really wants me to read, and he knows I do better with audiobooks than books. And he's like, look, this one is in audio now. You can read it now, Mom. Okay, back to the topic here. Okay, let's move along from alcohol. I have a feeling that one's going to come up again in the future, but we'll see. What do we do on the days when we overeat? So this is something on the days, like I've had some travel days where we've had some stress eating. What I really haven't talked about yet is what about the day after that? And it's been implied what I do, but I haven't actually really talked about it. And then this topic came up in one of our classes, one of our live classes last week. We have some chit chat time after class, and folks talk about what's going on. And the topic of, oh, wow, I ate too much yesterday, so today I'm going to try to eat very little. That topic came up. Don't do it. 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 Here's the thing. When we're on a weight loss journey and we're in a calorie deficit, we've got ourselves to where we're seeing the goals we want working for us. So we're eating healthy, so we're gaining strength, endurance, speed. We're eating healthy, so we have more energy. We're also doing it in enough of a calorie deficit that we're seeing this number on the scale go down. When we have that dialed in, and sometimes it takes a while to dial it in, then if we have a what the heck day and we quote unquote fell off the wagon, we ate the whole pizza, we did the second slice of cake at the birthday, whatever it is that we did, we don't overcorrect. Overcorrecting is not punishment for eating too much, or it just is punishment. It makes us feel bad. It's self-loathing. It's stabbing yourself in the back. It's telling yourself, oh, that was bad. That was wrong. And this is where I kind of do get into that place of, do I moralize food or not? Like, no, I don't moralize food. But if we overeat one day and then the next day we undereat, we really are in that realm of moralizing the food we eat. And we don't want to do that. This isn't morality. This is biology. So we don't want to swing that pendulum back and forth, because what ends up happening is we forget we're a human being and we think we're a robot and we think we can game the system, and we really can't. So anytime that I've done stress eating, overeating days, I step right back on my path and keep marching forward, which means the very next day I'm already eating in a calorie deficit. So I don't eat in an even bigger calorie deficit. I just get right back on my plan. I still hit my minimum proteins, which is high protein. I still hit my minimum fiber. Make sure I do that. Super important. Make sure I hit my minimum amount of healthy fats. So my skin, my brain, all these things can work and in play and not throw it all off. So that's an important piece to think about. So if you're in that too, if you're doing this journey and you have like oh crud, fell off, lack of that, there's better words to use than that, but I don't know. I just like using the words we use without worrying about, am I saying it exactly right? Just so it's clear. What do they say? Brene Brown says, clarity is kind. Clarity is kind. So yeah, so what you do, you step back on the path. If you find yourself self-loathing and beating ourselves up, we say, nope, that's not what we're about. This isn't about beating myself up. This is about loving my life. This is about finding a way that I can love my life and enjoy my life and keep going. Does that make the timeline of my weight loss journey extend a little more? Yes, but Does punishing myself for overeating in a day actually shorten the timeline? No, because it puts us on the negative yo-yo. And it's just makes it in the long run even worse. And if you've got a habit of doing this, if you're like, I've never been able to lose weight and this is so hard for me. And so I got to just go for it. And then I binge one day and now I'm going to restrict the next day. And it's like, has that worked for you in the past? No. So why is it going to work now? It's not. Yeah. We can't make up for the days we overeat. We just get on the path and keep going again. Now, with that, a day after I got home from, where was I? Oh no, it's been about a week. I got home. I went out with my friends, spent some time in a beach cabin, which was lovely. On my way home, I stopped by a farmer's market. This was my first farmer's market all summer I've been to. I can't believe it. I used to go to the farmer's market every single Saturday, but just like life, every time your life changes and you move to a new location, everything gets upset, everything changes. So I moved to a new city. I didn't quite know where the farmer's markets were. I was overwhelmed, busy, just trying to figure out life and surviving. And so finally I stopped by a farmer's market and I was like, oh my gosh, there's Swiss chard and tomatoes. I used to buy Swiss chard and tomatoes all the time. I had no idea what I was going to do with them I kind of did, but not really. I just bought it impulsively because I knew it was healthy. It looked yummy. And I used to buy this kind of stuff at farmer's markets. So I did that. Then I went to Costco where I like to buy a lot of my meat. And I was like, I'm going to buy fish. And I'm going to do a Swiss chard, tomato saute. So chop a bunch of Swiss chard, chop up a bunch of tomatoes, saute that down to nothing with a little bit of garlic powder or fresh garlic if you want to get all fancy. But garlic's a pain in the butt to deal with. So a lot of times it's garlic powder. Saute that up and then saute a piece of fish. Like the quality meat. So I went to Costco and of course, the smallest piece of fish that they had was 1.5 pounds. I lived by myself, which meant I had 4 pieces of fish 4 meals of fish that I needed to eat within like 2 days. I'm like, all right, I guess I'm eating fish for a couple days. I really loved it. I loved it. And the fish, Swiss chard, tomatoes, and then I got fancy and started adding a little bit of onion to these sautés. Absolutely loved the flavors. The calories were really low. Like, I don't know, it was like 300 calories, 350 calories for an entire huge meal that filled me up. My plate was like full of these vegetables and fish. Loved it. And it helped me with my goal to get to the 25 pounds. We'll talk about that a little bit more. So that was an interesting thing. Yes, veggies, massive veggies, fish to get some great protein, fresh fish, good fish, if at all possible, not freeze and thawed again, because the second fish smells fishy. Blah, blah. Yeah. Okay, then I did another thing that felt really, really good. These topics feel a lot more fun to talk about than alcohol and overeating. Pomodoro method. I don't even know where the word pomodoro came from, but it's like a tomato, right? Is pomodoro Italian for tomato, something like that? Let me know. It's a method where essentially all you do is promise yourself that for a certain amount of hours, you will not sit for more than 25 minutes at a time. And then you get up and move around for 5 minutes and you go back to your desk and work for 25 minutes. The timer goes off. You get up and you move around for 5 minutes, back and forth. What happens is for most people, and this is for me too, subconsciously, I know, or very consciously, I'm sitting down. I only get to work for 25 minutes. And I ask myself, what am I going to do? What do I want to accomplish in this 25 minutes? 3, 2, 1, go. Brrr, working. I just like, it takes 2 seconds. Ding, ding, ding. I'm like, how did 25 minutes go by? The 25 minutes always goes by so fast. Set a timer for 5 minutes. Get up, walk around the house a little bit, maybe fold a little bit of laundry, maybe, do a dish or two, just anything to get my body moving. That 5 minutes goes by even faster. Ding, ding, ding. Sit down, set the timer for 25 minutes. Work. Ding, ding, ding. 5-minute break. All right. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. Walk around. Ding, ding, ding. 25 minutes of working. But yeah, exactly. You get the point. Couple things happen. One, I get so darn productive, which is exciting because getting stuff done feels good. That gives me energy. I also don't let my body sit for more than 25 minutes. That gives me energy. In fact, a lot of you who have worked with me, I've given you this homework before. Don't sit for more than 25 minutes. Get up and get moving. And I've given you the assignment of getting up and get moving at least every half hour. And every time is so fun. I know this happens. You report back and say, wow, that really worked. I have so much energy. Yeah. So if you're thinking you need a little more energy, you need to get your body moving, try that. Set a timer. You could ask the A lady. Tell the A lady, hey, turn, I won't even say it. That would be mean. Set timer for 25 minutes. And then when it goes off, set timer for 5 minutes. Try it. It's amazing. Okay. So that's kind of the nutshell of what I got going on this week. I loved the veggies sauteed with the fish. I am proud of the reflecting I'm doing about alcohol's place in my life. Even though I feel like I hardly drink any, I am seeing more and more clearly how it's just not a positive addition in my life. So I'm going to keep doing this whole food thing. I'm going to keep doing more sauteed veggies and fish because here we go. Let's take a look at the weight and the scale of what happened when I made that change. Start of the week, 157.6 pounds. End of the week, 155.4, which means a net loss in 1 week of 2.2 pounds for a grand total loss of not 25 pounds, 26.6. Woo! Okay. That is exciting. That feels good. I also know 2.2 in a week is too much. So there's something going on, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to take it. I think maybe I had low sodium days or something. I don't know. 2.2 in 1 week is a lot, but it's still trending in the right direction. And so this got me thinking, you know what? How much week over week? Because a lot of times I come in and I'm like, I lost 0.4 pounds. I lost 0.6 pounds. I lost 2 pounds. What am I actually averaging over 17 weeks? So I did a little math, took the first 17 weeks or 18 weeks. Yep. And hang on, I need to double check my math. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. 26.6 pounds over 18 weeks. I was guessing that I was losing on average over the 18 weeks, 1.2 pounds a week. I did the math. The actual was 1.47, which is essentially 1.5. So I was underestimating how much I was losing a week. And anywhere between 1 and 1.5 pounds a week is awesome. Anything more than that is borderline a little too fast. So I am feeling really good about that. So next week, I think I might go through and just for kicks and grins, kind of do a quick walkthrough of like week 1, I lost 1 pound. Week 2, I lost 1.2. Week 3, I lost 0.2, something like that. So you can kind of see how it just like, and you got to remember in there, I had a week when I gained weight. I've had weeks when it was lower and higher. And so that's where we've just got to keep our head in the game on this. Look long term, find what works, find what we actually enjoy, and stay the course. Yeah. Next week, what do I have going on? Nothing huge. I think I'm doing some hiking with a friend. I'm starting to train for an 11-mile sand spit hike coming up. So that might, hopefully my foot is going to dictate that. And I loved the veggies from the farmer's market. So I'm going to do a lot more of those veggie sautés because I loved them. They made me happy. And I actually loved the energy. I still am sustaining. I feel like I'm still gaining strength from it. And I loved the results of this week on the scale. Now, 1 week only, cannot say, okay, my magic trick now is sauteed veggies. Like, no, we know it doesn't work that way. But I do want to keep going at it a little bit more and do a lot more veggies with some meat for meals. Yeah, especially because they just tasted so good. Alrighty, friends, that is the wrap for week 18. We made the 25-pound mark. Woo woo! Yes, my next goal is 30. I do have a goal of getting down to at least 30, and we'll keep assessing after that. What is my actual weight loss goal? I don't have one yet. I'm watching my body. I'm watching to see how my body does a recomposition. And I want to make sure I'm still getting stronger and not wasting away. I am not wasting away at all. I still have a little bit of a gut. I can still take my hands and grab some rolls around my waist a little bit there. A lot less, not so much. I look great though. I'm looking great, and I'm leaner than I've been in a long time. So that feels good. It would be my honor to help you do the very same thing. We can dial in macros, food, nutrition, exercise, mindset, whatever you need. We can work together to help you reach your goals too. So if you are interested in learning more and getting on this path, now is the best time, you guys. Now's the time, because we have just a few months till the holidays. And if you can go into the holidays lighter, with more command around what and how you eat in a way that you actually love your life and you smile more, like that is super, super duper empowering. So find me over at couch2active.com. From there, you can email, phone, or just sign yourself up. Any of those options are all right there. Looking forward to meeting you and working with you. Couch2active.com.